I don't see it live on.
Hmm.
Oh, gotta tap. Welcome to the Intentional CEO, a space designed for founders who are ready to lead with clarity, make smarter decisions, and scale without chaos. We are here to talk about what it really takes to grow a service based business with systems, structure that protects your time and your peace. Today, I have I have Ciara Butler, CEO of Prism and Sable, joining me to talk about our branding, AI, and showing up as our best authentic selves. Ciara, welcome to our intentional conversation.
Yay! Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. Karen, I know this is going to be a great conversation because we talk about this all the time, almost weekly, honestly. So
Yep,
I'm excited.
yep. And you were right about that. We do talk about this all the time. And so, who
Mhm.
better to have this conversation with but you? But what I would love for you to share more about to our audience is about your business,
Mhm.
who you serve, and your why.
Yeah, definitely. So, my business, as you already said, is
Mhm.
Prism and Sable, and I develop modern digital infrastructures for businesses and organizations by integrating AI automations, system design, branding, website development, and really just strategic marketing. I help clients basically streamline their operations. So I'm looking to improve their customer engagement, think about scaling them so that they can be efficient through AI technology. And I'm more focused on like technology driven design and measurable growth. So that is where I'm at.
And I love that. And I've seen you in action. And so, what would be one thing that you've seen from your current clients that they seem to miss, or the area where you feel like they're still their biggest pain point?
Oh, that's a really great question. So I would honestly say it has to be their websites that convert. That's a huge
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
Reaching out with cold leads for new clients. It's like, hey, I have a business, I created a website, but now you have to do the work and do the outreach to actually get new clients and put out new leads. The other thing is getting time back because we all know when people are solo entrepreneurs, they wear many hats.
Mhm.
And a lot of times my clients feel like, hey, I can do a lot of the other stuff, but I'm not a designer. I don't know about marketing. I don't know about ads. How do I create the content and manage my social media and whatnot in regards to their business? Because, that is a huge component in regards to, you know, getting leads for your business and making sales. So that's those, I would say those are the top three things for sure.
So I want to go back because I think you mentioned something really important
Mhm.
was about, they're wearing the many hats,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And even when they're wearing the many hats, there is just this thought process of that I have to,
Hmm.
do all of this and not seeing that there are things that are in your zone of genius, which are things that you could do in your sleep because they're things that come naturally to you. And then there's those things that are, which I call, which isn't coined by me, but by your zone of incompetence, or things that take you way too long, things that you shouldn't be doing, things that you should really have someone else do for you
Hmm.
because it really isn't in your wheelhouse. And it really hurts you, and it really hurts your brand, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
when they try to do everything. And can you share what are some of the resistance that you've received from clients about when you know that is something they're really not good at,
Yeah.
but they don't want to let go of?
I see a lot of resistance overall when it comes to trusting AI in their business, right? It's like I'm
Mhm,
providing my information, I am providing my details. I don't trust that, a large language model or an agentic AI tool can actually read my mind and produce what I'm visually thinking consistently, right? And so there is a fear that's going on right now while we're at I would say, at the rise of AI. Like, we're not behind. We're actually, I always tell my clients, you're right where you need to be. But there's a sense of like, one, do I know how to drive the vehicle? You know, that's what I'm getting from the clients. Like, do they feel comfortable driving the vehicle that is AI? And I get a lot of times that that's not the case because they feel overwhelmed, that it's going to take a lot to actually do and to build that out. So to them, it's just like the resistance I'm getting is more of like the lack of trust and the burden of building
mhm.
out these tools to work for them.
Yeah, and I think you hit it on the head where people talk about they don't trust AI,
Yeah.
but have not really thought that you've been using AI way before you even knew that it existed.
Yes, it
In
is.
your business, tell me one thing that people definitely have not heard that they've been using AI already.
I always give them the example of like Google Maps is a really great one as well.
Mhm,
Like, that uses
mhm,
AI, right? It's literally
mhm,
tracking when you go into Google Maps, it's tracking where you are as well as other devices that are clustered in a space to be able to say, hey, this is going to be a delay for 15 or 20 minutes. There's a blockage there. Here is where I'm going to reroute you. I think this would be the best route to get you to where you need to go as quick as possible.
mhm,
Another thing is airlines, right?
mhm,
Airlines are using AI in regards to customizing how they market to you in on their websites and then also in their apps in
mhm,
regards to providing and prioritizing the features that they think that would
mhm,
be best for you based off of the
mhm,
language model, large language model of like learning your behavior, engagement, and
mhm,
interaction, right?
mhm,
And so it was something I did at one of my previous companies where I was doing research on AI within large companies. And one of the use cases was McDonald's. It was like, if you download the McDonald's app, I don't eat at McDonald's. I have let that life go. But if
mhm,
both of us download the McDonald's app
mhm,
and then you log in, some of the sales that you'll get, some of the coupons that you'll get, and the recommendations of some of the food is literally based off of what you've ordered in the past and what they think will best serve you versus me, which is more, mine would be customized differently. So you could go into your specific app and then say, hey, Sierra, I'm going to order this double cheeseburger with X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to get it because there's a coupon, and I may not even see that specific
mhm,
coupon or sale because now we're in a place of customization, but that is AI,
mhm,
tracking you and your behavior. And so there's some level of big brother going on with that
mhm,
as well in our day to day, but there's so much more. And
mhm,
now that's the selling point for most of our day to day tools that everybody uses, which is
mhm,
let this assistant, because they're not
mhm,
going to say AI, because AI can
mhm,
be a term that is coined as a negative connotation, but it's like,
mhm,
use this assistant and it's going to come up with suggestions. It's going to help assist you in completing a task. And these are in all our day-to-day tools. So yeah.
mhm. Yep. And I think that those are very key things
Hmm.
that I think a lot of times that we need to really to see that it's already in our daily lives, and why not leverage it to be able to help you in your business. And I think what came to me when you were talking about it was even just even like you said with the McDonald's, because people use it. They use it when for gas, right? Which is a was a big thing. Um, and I think of even when we joined like to do this live stream, right?
Mhm.
We used a tool. And again, you and I love tech, like we love things. And how can we leverage it to be able to um, give us back time, but at the same time, to not have to be so in the weeds and things
Mhm.
so that we can do what we do best. And, both of us definitely love working with people to streamline their lives, and it's just not professionally, it's personally too,
Mhm.
right? Because if you're a woman founder who's spending 60 plus hours a week,
Mhm.
right, how can you get back those 10 hours, right? And that's what we try to help women see, that is so important, is that your time, you can't get it back. You
No.
can't recreate time. So, how can we help you to leverage your time in the best way possible so that you can do what you love, but then you can also spend time with those that you love,
Mhm.
right? And so
Mhm.
we help them to try to find those balances. And I think the one thing that I've found in conversations with women founders is it's been interesting of them not wanting to delegate and feeling like they can do it better themselves,
Mhm.
and not helping the and not them not realizing that, what, if you spent time really duplicating yourself, because a lot of them used to say that, I wish I could duplicate myself. And in reality, you can duplicate yourself strategically if you plan it. And I taught a workshop on that
Mhm.
by creating which I call a business brain, right? Where it's you taking all of you and putting it to paper, which is another thing that's a challenge. I know in working with women founders, a lot of times everything's in their head and
Mhm.
nothing is written down. And
Mhm.
so it's hard for you to think that you're going to be able to hire people when there's nothing tangible for them to be able to see. And a lot of people are visual learners. And so if you have nothing for them to see, how do you expect to be able to have them be able to execute your expectations when you've really be able to do it? And so again, one of the things that for me has been a big pain point that with women founders through, so that they can see like this is a better use, because all of that time that you spent
Mhm.
trying to train somebody, you could have had all of that set up, and you could have somebody learn your business, what you do, how you do it in an hour
Yeah.
versus you trying to spend a week. And so it's just, and again, all of it's using different tools with artificial intelligence. So I
Mhm.
just feel like it's something that's so needed. um Tell me one thing that you feel like you have this year that has really been blowing your mind, in things that you're using in your own business that's helping and propelling you forward.
Ooh, something that's been blowing my mind and propelling me forward in my business.
Mhm,
I would honestly say it is using agentic AI tools like Comet
mhm,
to complete tasks on my behalf, right? So, like, I can go into LinkedIn
mhm,
and say, look at people in my network or outside of my network based off of my skills and qualifications, find people who share them similarly, and then give me the best 10 to 15 people, right? And I mean, it goes through thousands and thousands and thousands within minutes,
mhm,
produces some, comes up with some amazing actual people, and then helps me with writing an introductory email to connect with them, looking at their profile in mind based off of what similarities we have, whether
Mhm.
it's memberships to organizations, work experience,
Mhm.
location, right? It comes up with the best, and it does that as well if you're looking for clients,
Mhm.
right? And the best way to reach out. So I would say AI has been helping me in a way from a place of like generating leads
Mhm.
and doing it within minutes. And I can't speak to how much time it can take to write custom emails for people,
Mhm.
but to have AI step in and look at what my business does and what it offers, and then can tell me based off of what their digital footprint says about them on the internet, a company or a
Mhm.
smaller business, and how we intersect and how I can support and help them of where they are in this day and age or right
Mhm.
now at the moment, and then coming up with ideas of how I can support them based off of my skill set or my offers,
Mhm.
and then customizing emails and then emailing them is pretty
Mhm.
insane. And it goes from like removing the time of research,
Mhm.
removing the time of brainstorming to figure out how I can support them, removing the time of customizing an email, to now you can reach out to 75 to 150 people a day
Mhm.
as cold leads,
Mhm.
right, on your own as a business owner is amazing in generating those consultation calls to get them in, you know, into that
Mhm.
level of conversion for your business. So I would say that has been blowing my mind. And that's something that I help my clients with, where it's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, you worked with me. We went through, we looked at your branding, we did a refresh. I've helped you with your visuals and your images that define who you are as a business and align with you, and helped you with your copywriting. And now you are live. And now what? You still, as a business
Mhm.
owner, need to get clients. You
Mhm.
still have to do marketing and ads, right? And so
Mhm.
what I do is step in and help them set up those systems and processes to continue to run
Mhm.
past the initial of us just building a website to try and get you conversions.
And I think you hit like the nail on the head with the point of, because I did the same thing. I used Comet to be able to do the same thing. For me, it generates up to 15 new leads each week. I don't have to do anything. It runs on Monday. I just go in and look at the list and to see who it is. Where before I could tell you it was at least 8 hours that I was spending between doing the manual research, seeing if they're a fit. You know what I mean? So again, so I bought myself 8 hours, right? So now again, like you said, it already helps me to see, where our synergy is. Is this somebody who would be a good partner? Is this somebody who would be a client? Just so that I have a good idea of how I can, reach out to those people. And again, I wouldn't be able to. You know what I mean? You could buy services, and I think we also need to be really clear too, because both of us agree with this. Is that just because something's new doesn't mean it's a best fit in your business right now.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe in, purchasing things or having my clients purchase things unless it's something that's going to benefit them now. Right. And if it doesn't, then you really don't. And so um, I just think that it's clear about what it is your objective the business. But for me, it's a big one is about, there's so much out there like, oh, buy this. And you end up getting it. And because you really don't have the real knowledge to be able to perform the task that that particular software may perform, you
Yeah.
end up spending money on something and you don't know how to use it. You got to give yourself a major learning curve with it. And then is it really going to give you the return on the investment? And so my foundation or my conviction is that, you know, it has to have it has to have a return on investment in order for something to be purchased. Otherwise, it just sits and I'll watch it and I'll keep up with new things, but it
Yep.
doesn't mean because it's out, I'm buying it.
Yeah. I agree 100% with that. And I think
Mhm,
that comes from a due diligence that we have to do as business owners to figure out. It stems first from what your services are and what your
mhm,
offers are, and then
mhm,
kind of working backwards into what is required to be able to deliver that as a business owner, and then using AI to, put those requirements out and find the best platforms or tools that will actually help support you. Because the worst thing you can do is put time, energy, and money into a tool and then say, like, it's not serving me, and then having to migrate to another tool
mhm,
and start all over again and build back up. So, yes, 100%. And also, I come from a place where it's like the the less amount of tools that you have, it puts you in a place of forcing you to become an expert. You're going to figure out and learn what the features are in the tools.
mhm,
If you have a whole bunch of different tools, then you're just going to like be on the surface. And a lot of
mhm,
times when I talk to clients, they have a lot of tools that I even use for my business. And I'm like, are
mhm,
you using this feature? Because they're like, I need to be able to do this, this, and that. And I'm like, are you using this feature?
mhm,
And they're like, I didn't even know that that feature existed. And I've been using it for a year or 2 years. And it's like, you don't need to buy this other tool. You just need to dig into the tool you currently have. And
mhm,
everything does seem a bit shiny because
mhm,
we're trying to keep up everywhere I look, even on social media. Somebody's doing a review for a new tool. And I'm like, maybe I should use that tool. But then I'm like, let me first look and see,
mhm,
does it exist in my
mhm,
ecosystem of tools that I'm currently using
mhm,
before I even go on and like subscribe for another monthly fee? You know what I
mhm.
mean? And I told you, I'm in the place of Google,
Yes,
right,
both of us.
for my
Mhm,
business. And so
mhm,
don't get me wrong, I do use other outside tools, but
mhm,
I'm forcing myself and trying to reduce all those additional tools that I'm using for my business and just trying to confine myself as much to the Google suite of tools, because we've talked about this. Every time I
mhm,
go in, Google does not market their
mm-mm,
tools that they have. And every time I go in, it's a new thing. And I'm like, I got to learn something else, and I could have used this for X, Y, and Z. And so it's caused me to explore way more in their hub of what they have with
mhm,
everything else. And I told you they just recently released Studio. So now
mhm,
you have automations across all your Google Docs,
mhm,
Google Drive,
mhm,
Gemini, Google Spreads, like everything. You can give it a prompt and automate if somebody comes into your ecosystem for services,
mhm,
all the way down to your Google Meetings.
mhm,
It will, with a prompt, it will take them through each
mhm,
lane or touch point in their journey towards a sale, or all the way down to offboarding them after you've helped and support them.
mhm,
So that's a huge thing, which I think
mhm,
is trying to push out, you know, other third party tools,
mhm,
which makes sense. But it's like, if you can save money and stay in this space,
mhm.
do that. So,
And see, I agree with that because, like you said, for a price that you're already paying for,
mhm.
because I know I want to say for my annual, for my Google Workspace, it's not expensive for an annual fee, right? And
No.
so I get all of these tools within it. And
Mhm.
like you said, taking the time to learn it again helps you to be able to streamline and you're not all over the place trying to band-aid
Right.
things that you can just put together and things are clean. And I remember when I first really got into Google, I sat and I made a landing page. And it was the coolest thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do landing pages. I sat and did me a script that took it and just created a funnel with through Google. So there's so many things that you can do, but again, it didn't cost me any money,
Right.
right? Because I'd already paid for the service, right?
Right.
So, like you said, and as they bring out more things, it's just so much more. You know how we really fell in love with Google Vids and
Oh,
how I use it to do my videos for my social media post.
Yeah,
Uh, I used it
Google Vids.
playing, and again, it for me, it was a learning opportunity. I created a whole mini course using it. And it was, and so there's so many things, like I said, and this just isn't about, promoting Google, but there's a lot of good things. But my thing is teaching entrepreneurs is that the new shining thing isn't always better. It's taking the time. And again, some people aren't gonna want to learn it, and that's okay too. We're here to help, right? That's what
Yeah,
we
we're here
do,
to
is to help you to get to what it is that you desire. But I think it's been amazing of all of the tools that are available. So I have a question. So what do you have coming up, or that you would like to share with the audience of services that you're offering in the next 30, 60, 90 days?
Ooh, 30, 60, 90. That's a good
Yeah, come
one.
on.
So, okay, let's start with the 30, then we'll get to the
Mhm,
60 and 90.
mhm,
Within the next 30 days in December, in a couple of weeks, I'm doing a workshop
mhm,
to help people who may not be tech savvy, have no experience with AI, and then just kind of supporting them of making their day to day easier. How can they offload, just before we
mhm,
even get to your business? What are
mhm,
some daily tasks that we can do to help remove some of that decision fatigue, give you a few hours back in your day, things that you may not even be thinking about, which is, planning your day, to doing errands for you, reaching out, following up with people in regards to emails and different stuff like that. And so I'm trying to show people as well that, there's this preconceived notion that if you're using AI, you're just a business owner. But I work with a lot of people, like, well, just being around people in my personal life, like my
mhm,
parents, relatives, and stuff like that,
mhm,
where I'm like, you can have AI help you with that. You can have AI help you with that, and it will relieve some of the stress and time. And so my parents are on it 1,000% on top of me of like, what can I do with AI to help me with this specific simple task in their mind that may just be a little bit tedious in
mhm.
time, a time crunch. But that's something that I'm going to be pushing out in the next few weeks. So within 30 days. And then within 60 days, a couple of things that I'm going to be doing is, one, we're going to be launching something coming soon for
Yes.
community.
Mhm,
Another thing that I'm going to be doing as well is providing more automation services for
mhm,
my clients that come
mhm,
in that want to, create a presence online, and also teaching them how to use AI to offload some of those tasks, like helping
mhm,
them build a social media manager, helping them build a content creator, making sure that it's scheduling their posts. Like I do believe, and there was a woman, Sharice, that I worked with
mhm,
as well. It's like I believe in the give me a half a day or a day to create content, and then for the next 30 to 45 days, as a business owner, step away and let the scheduling happen where it's it's being managed,
mhm,
media is being managed.
mhm,
So I'm going to
mhm,
be doing more of that as well. And then in 90 days, I would say I would be really just focusing on building out community. I think the
mhm,
thing is that I think we're in a day and age where people are moving away from winning so many courses and classes.
mhm,
And it's like we have our community, right, for
mhm,
AI, and we unravel and discover so much just
mhm,
being able to sit and do
mhm,
a live working session. We're like, just come in
mhm,
for 2 or 3 hours. You're just gonna be sitting here working on stuff. Hey,
mhm,
look at this. I'm working in Replit. I'm building a
mhm,
landing page. Let's all just
mhm,
build a landing page for this event that's coming up and spend a
mhm,
few moments. And here are a few prompts that I use. I really want to build that community because I think people get further when they
mhm,
have a community ask questions too, because their questions are more unique to where they are in their situation,
mhm,
versus like you're teaching at me, you're telling me this and that. And maybe that's just not the place I am in my journey as a
mhm,
business owner, right?
mhm,
So in 90 days, I would love to see. a community around that. And I love ads and videos and design.
Mhm.
So, it's nothing for me to create some really cool images using
Mhm.
Nano Banana,
Mhm.
using Flow, not plugging
Yes.
Google, but Google Flow and Whisk. Like,
Mhm.
I'm all about generating. I'm a generative AI queen in regards to images and videos, and everybody's doing these AI twins,
Mhm.
doing a lot of
Mhm.
that as well. So that
I
that's
love it because and the thing was, if you haven't, definitely make sure that you check out her LinkedIn page and even her YouTube page because I'm telling you, she has so much of her content where you can see her work in action. So definitely, I definitely encourage the listeners to do that.
Mhm.
And I even want to just share quickly if people are interested in joining her mailing list, you can join it. The QR code is on the screen. Definitely grab that and go ahead of when she is going to um, put everything out. So you're the first off the press, you know what's going on. And as she shared, which is really cool, we have been, and there is another incredible sister who's joining us, Makita Pons, who's going to be joining us to talk about, and it's going to be so that people are clear, it's going to be a free session where we're going to teach you something that's beneficial for your business that you can implement that day. That's something you can get a win for. So it's not wasting your time. And we'll be announcing that come January. But again, we just feel like we want, I know for me, women founders. I know that that Ciara and Amakita, they serve their world is bigger than mine. But again, it's going to be so much fun to be able to get together and to be able to make sure that we're able to share key things that can move your business forward in 2026.
Mhm.
And I would also just love to share um, as well is that and if you're interested in getting more information about that um just get on the AI wave list, right? Because we're like I said, it's going to be fun. We're just putting it out there. Definitely join us, and so that you can really be in the know. And again, we're not sharing the things for you to just go purchase or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's to be able to give you the education that you need because some of the things we're going to share is going to be just the basic 101 stuff that should be in your business,
Hmm.
which are key things that we're sharing. And if there are other things that can benefit you, definitely we'll have that as well. And so, and lastly, I just want to share is that I am really focused on entrepreneurs investing in their businesses and in their professional development. And one of the things that I feel like I've heard so much this year is about feeling overwhelmed,
Hmm.
the hesitant to delegate. And so there are ways you either hire somebody or you can use what we've been talking about in this conversation using the AI tools to be able to do that. And so I want to be able to share with people, and this is um, relatively it's not expensive but it's enough for you to be able to figure out what you can automate, what is your zone of genius to stay on your plate, what you need to delegate, and things that really you shouldn't be doing at all, right? Whether you or your business shouldn't be doing. And so it's a quick, in 30 minutes, I'm telling you, you can find at least 10 hours in your week
Yeah.
just by doing this because it really gets you down to technically the weeds so that you can figure out like what are the bottlenecks, what are the things so that you can move your business forward in 2026. So instead of buying things this holiday, we really want to encourage entrepreneurs to invest in themselves and to invest in their business. So, as we come to a close on our cool conversation, what would you love to share with the audience today in closing, Sierra?
I guess the main thing I want to share is that you probably have tools at your fingertips right now that you're not leveraging that could save you 2 to 3 hours a day of your time. And I know there's this discussion where if you are a business owner, or even if you work, in corporate, or you have a day-to-day job, a 9 to 5 job, um, that you can't really have work-life balance. Like, I've always fought for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
And as a business owner, I think there's a misconception because a lot of people talk about that. Like, and to a certain degree, I see it. Um, because we do have to wear many hats.
Hmm.
However, I'm from the place of like, give me back 2 to 3 hours of my time a day. If I,
Hmm.
if I still have to put in the amount of hours that I need to put in, like, time is still money to me. And it's
Hmm.
not for me to say I want to get that time. You can do whatever you want with that extra time. It could be spend time with your family, do more to bring in more revenue for your business.
Hmm.
But I want to share with people that you can use these tools ethically as well as safely if you do it the right way and listen to the right people as well, and give yourself more time back to do the things that you want to physically do. And so don't be afraid of it, right? I know everybody out here is talking about AI and it feels like it's a buzzword, and everybody's like, what should I believe? What should I expect? What should I think of? And I'm telling you, clear the noise and just open up the apps and tools and websites that you're a part of now, and look for their assistant or anything that says AI, and see what it actually does, and just test it out. See how it saves you time of creating a document, because that's something, right? See how it saves you time of doing a spreadsheet, saves
Yes.
you time in writing an email, right? Like, just start playing with things and get comfortable, and then let Karen and I come in and help you stack everything. So
Hmm.
now you have a
Hmm.
team of AI employees that are working for you.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. And definitely, I would love if you guys could follow us on our social media platforms. And both of mine are, you can find me at, it's The Real K Brown on both LinkedIn and on YouTube. And Sarah, what's yours on LinkedIn and YouTube?
Yeah. So my LinkedIn, just find me as Ciara Butler, straight to the point.
Mhm.
My Instagram you can find me on is I am Ciara Butler. You can find me on TikTok on I am Ciara, and YouTube is I am Ciara Butler.
Awesome. Definitely connect. If you have any questions or want to know anything more, would definitely love to um, connect and, to have, deeper, meaningful conversations. And I want to share that I will be interviewing another CEO on December 12th. And so I definitely hope that you guys will join us for another cool conversation. And the other thing we're going to share too is Sierra and I love to just like geek out. So we're going to be sharing blitz little blurbs of shorts of us as we kind of navigate our fun time as we delve into um, artificial intelligence. And for me, I want to say, especially to my sisters over 40, I really want you to not be afraid of what it is coming. It's here. It's not going away. And so I don't want you to get left behind. And so we're creating safe spaces for you to come and to ask your questions because there's never a dumb question. And so we're definitely going to have those, like I said, those free um, and we're setting them, I think, for 2 hours is what we talked about of just we're going to teach something and then that way you can walk away with a win. And so we're going to be, like I said, starting that in January, but definitely, connect with us so that we can make sure that you get what you need so that we can help you to move your business forward. Again, thanks for joining us for the Intentional CEO conversation. And I will see you on the next conversation. Bye.